If you're a plumber, HVAC, electrician, or any other home service business and you're running Google Ads, you might be sending ads into parts of town that almost never turn into real money. And in this sample, zip code 55301 brought in $77,000 from 101 jobs, while 55310 only did about $10,000 from 17 jobs. If you treat those numbers the same in Google Ads, you're just burning cash. So in this video, I'm going to show you how we handle this for our clients. How we cut out low revenue zip codes, how we pick which zip codes to push when you're busy, how we open things up when it's slow and then tighten them back up, and how we use a simple spreadsheet to tell Google where your best jobs live. And by the end, you'll see how we can take a file from your office, do all the work, and turn it into smarter Google ads that focus on your best jobs, not just any jobs. My name is Mike Mancini. I run Google Ads for home service businesses, and I've worked with over 1,000 service companies just like yours. This whole thing started with a client who said, Mike, Google Ads are expensive. We're getting calls, but I don't know which parts of town are worth it. So we pulled that information and put it into a spreadsheet for him. We added up revenue by zip code. We counted how many jobs were in each zip code. We figured out how much he was making on average per job in each one of those zip codes. And we looked at how close those jobs were to his shop. And that is key. Here's what we saw, and you'll see the same thing on this revenue sheet. A few zip codes are doing big numbers. Some zip codes are doing okay. And a handful look like a slow leak in a tire truck. And once we saw that, we built a simple rule. And that one change helped him cut the waste and book more of the right jobs. And that's the same system we now use for every client that comes into Mancini Digital, our Google Ads agency for home service companies. There's a link in the description if you want help with this. So when we start with a client, we say, send us what you've got. It can be a simple spreadsheet with date, address, zip code, and revenue per job. And here you can see a company we called ABC Plumbing. This looks a lot nicer than what we usually get from clients. We take care of cleaning it up. And at the summary in the top, you can see 301 did about 78 across 101 jobs, average job around 769. 304 did 75K from 121, average 618. And 303 did 72K from 138 jobs, average job was $526. Those three zip codes alone are doing over $225,000 in work. That's more than half of his company's revenue in just three zip codes. Then take a look at the bottom. 308 did about 10,922 from 18 jobs. 310 did about 10,139 from 17 jobs. Same company, same trucks, very different results. And this is where our process kicks in. Get rid of the bottom zip codes. First thing we do for a client is sort all the zip codes by total revenue and number of jobs. Then we flag the weak spots. And in the sheet, that's the ones like 308 and 310, low revenue and low job count. And our default rule is we do not push hard in these zip codes when you're busy. If it gets slow and we need extra reach, then we can test them, but they do not get the prime budget. So in plain English, we stop flooding weak zip codes with your best keywords and your best bids. That alone frees up budget we can move into better parts of town that bring you in better revenue. Then we pick the money zip codes. We don't just look at total revenue. We also look at average revenue per job, number of jobs, and how close those spots are to your shop or main office. So back to our sample, 301 is strong, 101 jobs, 77K. 304 is also strong, 75K, 121 jobs. 303 is strong, 73K from 138 jobs. Now 309 doesn't have as many jobs, but the average job value is higher, around $688. If one of these is closer to your shop, that matters. If your techs can hit 301 and 304 faster, those get a bump in your advertising spend. So for a client like this, we'd say, these are your tier 1 zip codes. When things are busy, this is where we want almost all of your Google Ads budget going. We then set up your Google Ads campaigns so those zip codes are in the core. They get the best keywords, they get the strongest bids, and they get the most focus. Then, busy versus slow. Now we adjust the zip codes. Here's where this really helps, and this is something we do for you. We don't keep the same zip codes all year. We adjust based on how busy you are. So if your office says, Mike, we're booking out 2 weeks, our techs are slammed, then we tighten things up. So for a client here like ABC Plumbing, we might only advertise in these 3 and maybe this 4th zip code, pause or pull back on the low producing zip codes, and make sure the money goes to spots with high revenue per job and plenty of calls. So the goal when you're busy is simple. Fill the schedule with high-value work as close to home as possible. Now, when it's slow and a client calls us and says, Mike, the phones are quiet, we need to get them ringing, we've got texts we need to keep busy. Then we simply open up the map. And the way we can do that is we can bring back second-tier zip codes like these and even test the weaker ones like these ones again. So we make the net wider so you can grab more jobs. Then once your schedule fills back up, we pull those weaker zip codes back out again. And this is not set it and forget it. This is ongoing tuning we do for clients so you're not stuck with the same settings in a busy season and the same ones in a slow season. And listen, I know you're busy. I know you don't want another project on your plate. That's why when someone comes in as a client, we say, just get us whatever you can export from your system. Date, address, zip code, revenue, that's it. So if you got some value, please hit like and subscribe for more videos like this. And if you're a home service business running Google Ads and you'd like us to take your job information and use it to make your Google Ads run better, then we'll do this for you. And there's a link below to Mancini Digital, my Google Ads agency for home service companies. Click the link, schedule a call with me, and we'll look at your data together. I'd love a chance to earn your business. And over on the right-hand side, you'll see some more Google Ads videos just for home services. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.